Welcome to another episode of Speaking with the Senator. I'm Senator Kevin Avard, representing District 12 here in New Hampshire. And today we'll be talking a little bit about politics and a campaign that hopefully some of you are watching. And we hope that some of you will definitely go to the polls to hit the right button. And with that, I'm going to introduce my guest, Scott Brown, former senator and former ambassador to
New Zealand and Samoa, as well as Cook, Niue, and our interest in Antarctica. It was the largest geographical district in the whole scheme of things.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Of course, I appreciate you.
I know the campaign is in full swing, really. I mean, you're out there. I'm seeing stuff every day. You're doing a lot of grassroots. How's it going?
Well, first of all, when you said you hope some people come out and push the right button, no, it's everybody.
Yeah.
Because what happens at the top is going to affect you all in the House and Senate and the Executive Council. So it's critical that everyone gets out, and I'm encouraging everyone to get out. It's been fun, first of all. I've been at it for like 14 months. And a lot of ups and downs in terms of people getting in and getting out. So now I have John, and it's fine. We are getting the grassroots. We're getting the military, the people that voted for me before, twice. They're still with me, and we haven't really lost much. But we've actually got the independent vote because he got Trump's endorsement somehow. This is a family that hates Trump. He was with Kasich, he was with Nikki, and then he wrote an op-ed calling Trump a loser. Somehow he got the endorsement. Well, people are saying, well, how did that happen? Scott was with him for all times, and he was the ambassador. And quite frankly, I'm going to call balls and strikes, like you. I'd say, like Fetterman, we were talking about earlier, just call balls and strikes. And he doesn't have that ability, so that's brought the independents over, too, and they're looking at me hard, which is great, and coming over.
Yeah, so you were in Atkinson just recently?
I was in Nottingham and Atkinson last night. It was like one, then zipping over there and made it. I was shocked I made it.
Now you're in Nashua, which is great.
Yeah,
we actually had a very late night last night at the Capitol. We were up till like 10 o'clock. For us, that's pretty late, but we had a long, and we hit all kinds of topics. We had energy and some healthcare issues, vaccines, you name it. But some people are really, even though we have a lot of these local issues, they're also concerned about the broader issues that's happening globally. For instance, the president's in China, or he's coming back from China.
He's in Alaska now. He's heading home. He'll be home later, probably home now.
So, what are your thoughts about that and how the Iran situation's going?
Well, we could have a show for 2 days on that, but obviously I've been to China, been to Taiwan 3 times, understand the region, and I think it's always important when you have 2 world leaders getting together, talking versus not. Creating war vibes versus, hey, we're going to, here's my house, and we're doing, a lot with business now. I thought President did the great thing by bringing all these business leaders over. So he's coming back with allegedly some business deals for our country, and that's a good thing. They talked about Taiwan. They talked about, obviously, Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. And I think it was very positive. And the thing that I'm most concerned about there is AI. Because we're battling, and whoever gets the leg up on that, it's going to affect us militarily. It's going to affect our entire world forever, and it has to be done right. So I commend the president for actually, coming up with federal guidelines, working with private business, making sure we have that innovation, but also the structure, because to have bad actors get this and use it against us is not a good thing.
And I'm glad you brought that up. So AI requires data centers.
Right.
And there's basically a narrative out there that data centers are very bad. And I have to remind people that every time you use your cell phone, or every time you put that card into that gas pump, or any type of electronics that you're using data. And as the population increases, you need more place to store it. And these data mines, or these data centers, are gobbling up a ton of energy. You need the energy, and which brings me to my field in the Senate. Nuclear seems to be one of the best ways to solve the problem with the needs for energy, with the electrical needs, with the data centers, with the AI. What are your thoughts about micronuclear?
Yeah, first of all, it reminds me a lot about Gillette Stadium when when the Patriot Stadium bill came up. They wanted to put all these services outside the stadium and basically not pay any mitigation monies. And I saw that, and you're lucky you got done in 10. We went 24, 36, 48 hours. And I was able to find that they were going to just ram things through. And I stopped it and I said, put it on your own property. It's the same thing, those micronuclear processing center devices that you're talking about. Yeah, listen, it's innovation. Let's go. We obviously have Seabrook. I know Brian Cole and probably you are working on those types of things because there's already a pad there. It was ready to go and there was a lot of protest, but that's up to the town of Seabrook and their citizens to make sure they get the proper mitigation monies or other considerations, whether they get their energy for free or they get a steep discount by having it right there in their backyard or that entire region. That's something that you and others need to decide. So yes, to step back from our dependence on foreign oil, but as an elected official, as a U.S. Senator, I'm going to be working with the Commerce Committee and the Energy Department, the secretaries on that, to try to make sure we can put serious pressure on obviously New York and other states to allow us to have a pipeline or allow ships to come up. I'm glad the Jones Act has been basically suspended because that gives us more alternatives. I think it should be done permanently.
What's the Jones Act?
It basically prohibits ships coming into ports for long periods of time without paying high taxes and things like that. Mm-hmm. And the president suspended it temporarily. I think he should just suspend it. It's archaic. That will give us another option to bring things in from Boston and other parts and Portland potentially. But yeah, energy is, as I travel around our state, it's the number one issue, especially in the winter. Now, listen, I haven't had my heat on for a couple of months, but still, when you get that gas right now and you talk about Iran, I've been to Afghanistan, Pakistan, Israel, Dubai, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kuwait, worked with ambassadors as a senator, worked with them as an ambassador, it reminds me so much, the Strait of Hormuz reminds me of the Indo-Pacific and the South China Sea, because if Iran allows a toll booth, then China is going to do the same thing there. We can't allow that.
Taiwan, right?
Yeah, we can't allow that. And so what the president's doing, I think, was good in terms of bombing the nuclear facilities, neutralizing Iran. After 47 years, they've been picking on everybody, destabilizing that region, exporting terrorism around the region and the world. And I'm impressed and I'm surprised and I'm thankful that he's offered that olive branch. And we've had 39 days of a ceasefire. There's a little back and forth here and there, but nothing like we've seen. I think he was doing that on purpose to show that restraint for his trip to China. Mm-hmm. And basically, when he gets back, if Iran doesn't come together, I think we're going to have a quick resolution of that.
And the reason I'm bringing up these topics is because, as a U.S. Senator, what's happening is globally. Obviously, you can look at the gas tanks, gas pumps, and see how it affects us. And having a good background with what's going on globally is critical, especially in that position. A couple other ones.
Can I just add something to that?
Yeah.
To interrupt. Yeah, I'm the only one with any military experience or any international experience like that. Mm-hmm. And that matters, especially today with the military and other actions that we have. But I don't remember the Democrats, whining and complaining constantly about the gas prices, because this time when President Biden, it was $5.01 to $5.15. I just drove by a couple of places in Nashville, $4.29, $4.39. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we're still way below, and we're having that issue with the Strait and the oil delivery. So it's like, come on, let's be fair.
And we were using our strategic supply, and now we have a glut of oil, and China may be buying some of our oil. Yeah. But that also brings me up to Venezuela and Cuba. So a lot of these issues that are going on globally really are going to be affecting us. And we're making our enemies, if you will, in check, because they depend on the status quo that we've been living under for years. But whatever the president did in Venezuela is slowing down the drugs coming to our ports. It's slowing down the oils going to our enemies that are creating the AI, which they want to use against us. And now we're talking about freeing possibly Cuba. And that'd be a new market for us, and protecting our borders.
I've always wanted to go to Cuba.
Yeah.
I know some of the Democrats, they go down and whatever. It's like, okay, how do they do it and why are they doing it? Then they go down and trash our country, which I find is abhorrent. But what we're seeing here, there's the world market, the people that are trying to follow the rules, and then you have Venezuela, you have Russia, you have China, who basically have a black market of black market oil. They're paying way under.
Right.
And that's why the president stopped that. That's why he went in to Maduro, not only to get him because it's a bounty, but stop the drugs, stop the oil, give the people of that country a chance. And it's the same thing with Cuba. Now that they're not getting their oil from Russia and other countries, there's a chance that they are now coming around and want to be a different type of country. It's supposedly, I've been to Guantanamo. I was there. I saw bin Laden. Sorry, not bin Laden. Oh my gosh, the guy, I don't want to misspeak because they'll say, oh, Brown doesn't know what he's talking about. But there's a couple of people that were arrested and detained there forever. And I said, what a beautiful island. And, yet here we are.
The potential.
Yeah.
And the potential that's out there and bring people up to grow and to prosper under all the resources they have instead of being driven down by basically a dictatorship.
I think it was Khalik Sheikh Mohammed who was there, if I'm not mistaken. It was a while ago.
Yeah, and my apologies for just speaking globally.
No, I think it's fantastic.
It's important because it does affect us, and it affects our economy, the oil markets and whatnot. And I really do believe that the president is on to something. And to say the least for our European allies, they really haven't stepped up to the plate like they should have. And I know that they benefited from the oil markets better than we have anyway in the past. But that being said, I thought maybe during this Iran war that they would have come in and helped us out, a little bit with NATO.
They haven't helped us at all. So let's not say a little bit. They are coming in after the fact. Yes, they need it more than we do. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of shocked that they didn't come in with quicker with their mining ships so they can determine if there are any mines in there. How crazy is it when you have the Arabs and the Jews working together? Yet we don't have our European allies coming forth to allow us to even land on a base. So that's how things are upside down. But it's creating new allies. And I think after this is over, you're going to see a stronger Middle East because Iran has always been there as the big bully, destabilizing that region for their own benefit. They don't want to always, UAE and other countries, Kuwait, they don't want it to all be about oil. They want to be about everything.
Right.
And they haven't been able to do it because of Iran. And these are things that Chris Pappas and respectfully John have no clue about. And it's going to be a major part of what's happening over the next 2 years is these geopolitical global issues that are affecting not only us and our homes, through, as you reference, as the energy, whether it's electric, nuclear, whatever it is, but our safety and security. The thought of having a nuclear weapon with Iran is scary because they will use it, okay? They will use it. There's no doubt. And to somehow think, oh, they really don't have it. Listen, they came to the table and said they had enough nuclear material to make 11 nuclear weapons, okay?
One would wipe out Israel.
It could be bravado, okay, but what if it isn't?
Right.
And presidents past have tried forever to talk about it. They've given them money, they placated them, they do something on text, they make a big statement, they don't do anything. And it emboldens these characters, and here we are. So I commend the president on what he's doing, and I commend him for his restraint. And I'm hopeful it gets resolved.
And safety, justice system, the whole 9 yards. I think that when it comes to safety, you're seeing judges let out criminals that are, and it's on a lot of people's minds. Where's our justice system? And in your position, you'll be able to nominate judges, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
Who follow the Constitution and are not going to do these crazy things. Absolutely. I voted for and against judges before. And, you vote for somebody based on your interview. I interviewed every judge that I've ever voted on. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't support Elena Kagan. I didn't think she was qualified. Still don't think she's qualified, So, but, she got through anyway. Met all the Supreme Court justices, certainly past and present, that during the time I served. And to think that the Democrats now want to do away with it because they're not getting their way, and then they want to make Puerto Rico and D.C., they're blatant. I mean, Kamala Harris was on yesterday talking about it. Instead of playing by the rules, they want to change all the rules, and it's typical. And one of the reasons I'm running is to protect the House and the Senate, obviously, House members that I can support here in our state, and then obviously retaining the Senate by winning this seat.
Yeah, you really have to change the dynamics, because for years we've been looking at, well, we got a Republican governor, we got a Republican Senate, we got a Republican Executive Council, we have a Republican House, and yet we don't have one single delegate in for U.S. Congress or Senate.
Yeah, there's one.
Doesn't make sense.
1 out of 32 in New England. Susan Collins is the only one. And do you think we could have 2? How about that? I was the last one out of Massachusetts, 2010 to 13. And what you see is Jean Shaheen's a little bit different, that she's now not running. She's not running because I was announced I was running against her again. But she's actually popping up. She's on Fox. She's doing TV. Our delegation doesn't do any of that stuff. They're almost like whack-a-mole. They hide. They pop their head out once in a while. But it's never on any big issue. So everyone says, "Oh, Chris Pappas, he's such a nice young man. He's a nice young man who voted against your Social Security breaks, who no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, accelerated appreciation, $500 million for our rural health centers. He voted against that. $200 million for our Portsmouth Naval Shipyard improvements. He voted against that. He wanted to raise our taxes at like $4 trillion. And this is the guy, men and boys and women and girls sports. I could go on and on and on. There's something he tweeted today. I'm out there fighting for the the little guy against the 1%. Dude, he is the 1%. He and his family are the 1%, and so are the Sununas. And respectfully, I am now too. Okay, so don't go say you're fighting for the little guy. No, you're trying to protect everybody. Everybody should be protected. And my job, if I'm honored enough to be elected, is to represent everybody.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of things. The no tax on tips. I just came from Florida. Tracy and I had a nice little vacation down there, and there were at least a half dozen restaurants that we went to, and they had an automatic 18%, which was an automatic raise for those people, and it just you could see the spark in their eyes. That's a huge increase.
Yeah, it's real.
And the folks that don't have to pay income tax on your Social Security. Hello.
Listen, and people don't call our entire delegation. See, you referenced it. We have a supermajority in the Senate. We have a supermajority in the Executive Council, large majority in the House. Kelly, all right, she's got to sign some of your bills, obviously, to keep the base happy, knock on wood. But they have this delegation that's thwarting our New Hampshire advantage. Every single turn, more regulation, more taxes, more crazy decisions, sanctuary cities, open borders, lying about Joe Biden. These are the things. These are the people that are representing us, and if the people watching and listening don't get out and vote on September 8th, and then on the general election, you get what you pay for. The thought of having Chris Pappas be a senator for 30, 40 years, I'm sorry, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. I been watching another race, Lily versus Maggie Goodlander, and every time I think of her, I just think of Benghazi.
Yeah.
And I don't think she has a handle on the working people. I'm definitely one of the working people.
We're scrappers.
Yeah.
You and I are scrappers.
Yeah.
We weren't born on third base and think we got a triple like some of the people in my race. So,
yeah, I definitely did not have a silver spoon. So you're going to be running. How do people get in touch with you and help you?
Yeah, you can go to scottbrown.com. We're fully staffed. We're if we didn't raise another penny, we could have a good time at it. But we're always raising money because we're saving now to get up on TV. We're opening up an office in Manchester and hopefully looking in Nashua. We're everywhere. Doing stuff tomorrow, Sunday, every day. And if you look at the X and Facebook and all the social media, you'll see how hard I'm working, because you're going to vote for Scott Brown. Well, I got to meet him 3 or 4 more times. Well, I met him 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and I want to thank you for your endorsement. It matters.
Yeah, and you still have it. Of course, you keep it, and that's the beauty of New Hampshire. You really get this one-on-one many times in so many different aspects. I got like 2 minutes left, so I just want to let everybody know he's going to be playing at the Seashell at Hampton Beach.
Yeah.
Now your daughter's played there.
Yeah, she's playing. I think I'm going to see her tonight. She's got a show in Portsmouth at the Music Hall, and then we're playing there. We're also playing at the Seafood Festival. We're doing 4th of July at Salisbury. We're going to be up in Freedom. We have about probably 15 gigs all set up. It's a great outlet. I'm going to go home after this and just play and sing.
Yeah, that's what I do. For 4 o'clock in the morning, you can drive by my house. You'll see me. I'm practicing my guitar, but I'm
Nice.
more than a singer.
I'm psyced to see you.
We'll be playing
Like
the
legit.
19th.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm there.
And the Nash.
I'm gonna throw stuff at you.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll also be playing at the Nash the 22nd. We have a trio that will be playing as well. But music brings people together, and my wife we were in Florida, and we were at our first restaurant, and there's this table of ladies that were right behind us, and you could tell they were churchgoer ladies, and I could hear them talking. And I turned around and I said, "So, do you all know the singer Dobie Gray?" And they said, "Oh yeah," and then I started singing "Drift Away."
Nice.
Oh. And it just brought people together.
Yeah.
And then the whole restaurant started singing "Drift Away."
Nice.
But it's one of the things that I think that is an advantage that we have, is that we know how to bring people together.
Yep.
And music is a source to do that. It's a time of celebration and a way of communicating joy that kind of lives inside us. And I think that's a real important thing.
Every day.
Senator, we appreciate it. Again, one more time, how do they contact you?
ScottBrown.com, everybody. Come on and join the team. It's going to be a lot of fun. God bless you, and God bless New Hampshire.
And thank you for watching Speaking with the Senator. And if you like the show, please hit subscribe and like the show and share it. And if you don't like the show, please hit subscribe and hit like and share the show. Until next week, thanks for watching.